Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Lineker versus McDonald, a bantamweight clash of the ages. That's going to be exciting. And yeah, this one is six-fight main card UFC Fight Night on a Wednesday. And yeah, it's pre-fight rundown of the main card with my predictions. So let's get started. Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. Had to correct something on there on my notes. So the main card kicks off with a flyweight bout with Smolka and Beneil. And yeah, this one I'm going with Smolka by decision. I mean, this guy, he stepped up to the main event in an Ireland card against I believe Paddy Houlihan, and he just stole the show with an impressive submission finish. And then yeah, this guy, I just don't see him cracking under the pressure. And this guy, the sky's the limit. Smolka is a flyweight superstar to look out for. Not to take anything away from Beneil. Beneil has great stand-up, killer kickboxing, Muay Thai, but Smolka is he's well-rounded, and I see this being his night, and I see it being a battle, a war on the stand-up, and then I think Smolka will go for some takedowns somewhere in the mix, and these takedowns, and then the stand-up being somewhat nullified with Beneil's being so talented he is, that I think Smolka wins the decision here due to the takedowns. So I could picture Smolka getting one takedown per round, and then that winning him a decision, 30-27. So there you have it. There's my prediction on that one. Then in the welterweight division, we have Noke versus Kaito Nakamura. Kaito Nakamura, real good stand-up. Noke, he's been in the game for a long time. He's underrated jiu-jitsu skills, good kickboxing, knows how to mix things up, and that's why I got Noke winning by unanimous decision here. Noke, he coached the Ultimate Fighter Nation season, and he was a contestant on season 11 of Ultimate Fighter, and yeah, this guy, he's just well-rounded. I mean, he can mix things up, and having the experience against with fights like Patrick Cote, where I think he learned a lot from that loss. I think yeah, he's going to win a decision here. So yeah, I'm picking Noke by decision. Then in the heavyweight division, we have Daniel Omielanczuk versus Oleski Olimnik. Yeah, anyways, this one I picked Olimnik by submission round 2. I think his submission skills are good, and I believe he's favored to win this by some sort of ground game attack, and so I'm picking Olimnik. Let's see, yeah, I'm picking Olimnik submission round 2. I think there's going to be a good flashy finish in this fight. Then in the middleweight division, we have Tim Boetsch versus Josh Simon. And I think Josh Simon has cardio for days, and he could just coast by this fight and tee off on Tim Boetsch. Tim Boetsch, barbarian, veteran in the UFC, has had some big fights. However, I think Josh Simon gets it done, KO round 1. I think his stand-up is too flashy for Tim Boetsch, and I think he lands some flashy body kicks and then some head kicks, or body kicks and then some flashy punches, getting a knockout win. I say mid to late in the first round. But yeah, this fight, I mean, Tim Boetsch could win by knockout. I mean, he could just come out of nowhere. I believe it was Okami fight when he was down 2 rounds, and then he comes back in the 3rd round and knocks out Okami. No one saw that coming. So However, I think Josh Simon gets it done. He's just full of energy and has cardio for days. Tim Boetsch, he could gas out after the second round, and then that'll really give Josh Simon some leverage. But I think it'll end quickly, and Josh Simon gets it done, KO round 1. Then in the lightweight division, we have Landon Venata versus my boy Tony Ferguson. Big Tony Ferguson fan, as a lot of you guys know. He was on season 13, the greatest season of all time in Ultimate Fighter history. He was on Team Brock Lesnar, going up against Team Junior Dos Santos, and he won that show first round knockout, knocking out Ramsey Nijem, and then he went on a couple more fight victories, and then he had a loss against Michael McDonald. But then since then he's gone on thus far a 7-fight victory, and hopefully that doesn't stop. And I think that he's going to be so unpredictable, and the octagon jitters may get to Landon Venata, that because this is Landon's debut. I think Tony Ferguson gets it done by some sort of flashy, weird knockout in the first round. I don't know how he's going to do it, but somehow Tony Ferguson will find a way. Then in the bantamweight division, in the main event, we have Michael Mayday McDonald versus John Lineker. And John Lineker, he's a knockout artist. He could knock people out. Heavy hands for a little guy. However, I think the footwork of Michael McDonald is good. The very underrated ground game of Michael McDonald is good, and he could nullify any ground attack of John Lineker. And I think that John Lineker, having history of having trouble making the 135-pound division, I think that, or just losing weight in general, I think that just cutting weight. Excuse me, yeah. John Lineker having trouble cutting weight. He's going to gas out after, say, probably 2 or 3 rounds, and then I say in rounds 3, maybe 4, but I'll say 3. Michael McDonald gets a KO in round 3. So there you have it. There's my predictions for this main card. Michael McDonald gets it done, 3rd round knockout, and makes a name for himself even more so in the bantamweight division. And keep in mind, Michael McDonald has already fought for UFC Gold. He fought for the interim bantamweight championship back in 2013 against then interim bantamweight champ Renan Barão. And he had some moments there where he looked okay, but I mean, Barão was in his prime back then. And I think the tides have turned, and I think Michael McDonald, being the young guy he is, I think he'll look back at that fight and any other fights in his past catalog and learn from them and make improvements. And I think he will be able to, again, nullify John Lineker's ground game, and then find his jab in the 2nd round, and then knock him out in the 3rd round. So there you have it. There's my predictions for this main card. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show. This main card is going to be exciting, and tune in. It's live on Fox Sports 1, and it's taking place in South Dakota, the first time UFC has ever gone to South Dakota. So until then, see ya.